Hey everyone, it's Kevin here. This is going to be a little bit of a longer video today, so you can read in the description what it's all about if you want to, if you don't want to watch the whole video. But I have a little story to tell. It's a very personal story, and I didn't want to record it live because it's a bit of an emotional story too. So, 2 years on March 18th, on a Saturday, a beautiful sunny Saturday, I was spending time with my granddaughters. They were over for a little visit in the morning. And then I went outside. I was taking some pictures of the peafowl that we had on the property. And you can see right above me here, that was our male. He's no longer with us. But I was just having a great day. And I came in after taking pictures and decided I'd get a shower. So while I was in the shower, I had a heart attack. And I had all the classic symptoms that men get when they're having a heart attack, including first tightness in the chest that spread around like a band around my entire chest. I had numbness in my left arm. I also had nausea. I had cold sweats, pain in my jaw, all while I was still taking a shower. So I knew that I was having a heart attack. And I didn't clutch my chest, didn't fall over, but I knew I was having a heart attack. So I got out as quickly as possible, dried off, threw a couple of things on for clothes, came out, laid on the bed, and called my wife and said, you need to call the ambulance because I'm having a heart attack. So, without going into too much detail, the EMTs arrived, they checked me over, and they took me over to the Truro Hospital. And within a few hours, it was confirmed that I had a heart attack. And I tell people this all the time, that it was the best kind of heart attack because in the end, it didn't actually damage my heart. They were able to find out what the problem is and fix it. 5 days later, I had a stent put in Halifax. But yeah, I had a heart attack at 54 years of age. Not something that I expected, although I do have cardiac problems and heart disease in my family. In fact, my dad had a heart attack at an early age, which he survived, by the way, and other family members who have cardiovascular disease. But I had thought that I was living a relatively healthy life. I ate a lot of really good foods that that they say are good foods for you. I also exercised relatively regularly. In fact, approximately 3 days prior to the heart attack, I was at the RECC on the rock wall climbing. It was one of my favorite things to do. Very strenuous exercise, a lot of fun, something that I really enjoyed. But as I came out of the hospital after having the heart attack, having the stent put in, and now having to live through convalescence and even those early days of having to work up into a 5-minute walk down the street, I spent a lot of time thinking about and researching health, healthy eating, healthy lifestyles, and so on and so forth. And so I made a lot of changes. Now, I'm not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, right now I have ice cream in my freezer, which I had yesterday. So I'm not perfect. But I have really thought through and changed a lot of things about how I eat, why I eat, the types of things that I eat, and even the speed at which I eat. I often talk about slow food, slow to prepare, slow to eat. And so in this process of researching all of this stuff, within about a year, I lost 60 pounds. And most people wouldn't have said that I had that weight to lose, but I obviously did. So I lost 60 pounds, but better than that, I was feeling much healthier. One of the things that I didn't want to do was stay on medication for the rest of my life. So I got myself to a place where I am off my cholesterol medication, which these statins, while they do some good work, can also in the long term create damage in your body. So I didn't want to do that, and I'm off those. In fact, they had to take me off my blood pressure medication early because my blood pressure was so good after the things that I was doing for my health that the blood pressure medication was actually making me sick. I was having dizzy spells, falling down, those sorts of things, which you don't want to do. And I had a lot of support during this time. My wife helped me a lot, encouraged me to get out for my little 2-minute walk so I can work up to a 3-minute walk so I could work up to a 4-minute walk and so on, and helping me make right choices in our meals, in our menu. And I don't like to say diet. Diet has a connotation of restriction. I actually felt like we were being more free with our food as far as the types of foods. We had lots of flavors. I did for a little while cut out most of meat products going into my body, and any meat products that I do eat come primarily from my son's little farm, pasture-raised pork and chicken. And we ate lots of healthy vegetables, lots of lentils and beans and so on to get protein in my body while I went through this process of changing the way I view food. And all of those things had led me to a place of feeling healthier as far as my body was concerned. My mind, not so much. I dealt with a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety over the last 2 years, stemming directly from the heart attack, and maybe some things that happened prior to that, but certainly the heart attack really brought it into laser focus. For someone who wasn't really afraid of anybody, could talk to anybody, would try almost anything, I suddenly went from that person to the person who wouldn't lock his doors because he was afraid that he would need somebody to come in if I had a health issue. And I had a few other health scares along the way, particularly within the first year, having a kidney infection and stones. And I split my head open, and of course on blood thinners, the blood went everywhere. And then having some other issues with my heart. To the place now where I'm not on medication, but I'm still feeling this fear and anxiety. So I had to not only deal with the physical side, but the emotional and maybe even the spiritual side of my health. And yoga's been a big part of that healing. It not only has it helped me from a physical perspective, but primarily more from a mental and emotional perspective. It helps me think clearer. It helps me to focus on things that are positive. And if you follow me on Instagram, you can search me by the hashtag yoga guy. You'll see a lot of what I think during practice, the things that I meditate on during practice. And a lot of it is about peace and love and compassion and grace and mercy, things that are very dear to my heart, but now I make them a primary focus in my day. And I still have anxiety, but not to the point that I was having, and some of them were really bad spells that would just essentially take me out for a day. So I still have some anxiety. I have some anxiety sharing this with you, but most of all, I'm to a place where I can cope with that, and I don't take medication. I'm not really going to therapy. I talk a lot with my wife and talk through a lot of this stuff. But for me, it has been very much focused on the internal me impacting the external me. And when I feel healthier internal, and when I say internal, I mean my emotions, my mind, my spirit, really impact the way that I deal with things around me, including what I take into my body. So in this process, I went from spending about a decade in the contact center industry and being very successful there, to this recuperation time where I wasn't working, and then I needed to go back to work, and I started working at a place, and I will just call it a fast food coffee franchise. I won't tell you the name, you probably already know it. But it was very stressful. It wasn't a good place for me, and I left there relatively quickly and started managing a coffee shop here in Truro, which I love, and I loved working there, and I loved the people there. But it was hard on my physical body, particularly my back, just because of the nature of the work. And nothing that I tried, including physio and exercise, was allowing me to feel healthy. So I decided to go back to contact center industry, start at the bottom, work my way up, and the job that I had secured actually fell through. And I probably posted something on Facebook, a woe is me thing, that this job wasn't starting and I was without work again. And I got a Facebook message that pretty much changed my life. And the owner of Simply for Life here in Truro, Crystal Mills, an old friend, a dear friend, contacted me and said, have you ever considered? And so we started having conversations. We had conversations over Messenger. We met a couple times. I met with one of the head people from head office for Simply for Life. They had to work through some of my preconceptions, my negative preconceptions about Simply for Life, and particularly some of the menu plans. And then suddenly I joined this team. And the great thing about it is I've been able to join this team as a person who has dealt with health issues, weight issues, mental health issues, and I'm able to take what I've learned through personal experience, and some of it was very hard and very emotional, and be able to share that with others. I've talked with people about heart health. I've talked with people about anxiety. I've talked with people about stress. And our motto at Simply for Life is we're in the business of making people look amazing by living healthier and longer. And you'll notice that it doesn't say by being thinner or losing fat. It's about a healthier lifestyle. And that's the journey that I was on prior to coming to Simply for Life, is trying to live a healthier lifestyle. And now I get to share what I have experienced personally with others. So come on down and see us if you want to. If you're in that place where you're dealing with physical problems or stress problems or whatever, come in and we'd love to talk with you. If you don't want to meet with a guy, I get that. Certainly Crystal is available, as is Cam, and they have tons of experience, tons of knowledge that they're able to share and help you with. Or you can come and see me. But what we want to do, what we're trying to do, is help people to build their own healthy lifestyle. And we can help you with that. We can coach you through that. We can give you tips and tricks. We can help you with meals. We can help you understand what works best for you and your family, whether you're a single person or a married couple, or you've got a family with lots and lots of kids in the house. So we deal with everybody on an individual basis and very personally. So if you've made it to the end of this video, it's a long video, I really appreciate it, and I thank you for doing that. I hope you've learned something. I just needed to share it on the 2-year anniversary of this crazy thing that happened to me. And I hope that you have a happy, healthy day.